This week's episode of Modular Modcast is brought to you by Novation and their flagship synthesizer, the Summit. I've been using the Summit a lot to create samples to put into my stereo-triggered sampler from 4MS, as well as just playing keys. It is a lot of fun, it's super easy to use, it's very deep, but not at all intimidating, very navigable. It also has been very inspirational for me as far as writing new music. So, if you would like to check this out, please visit the show description and click the link. And once again, thank you to Novation for their support of Modular Modcast. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Modular Modcast. My name is Tim Held. This week we have Ross Fish from Moffenzeef Modular back on the show. But we're not going to talk a whole lot about synths or anything. We're going to talk about this new venture that Moffenzeef is kind of, I don't know, it's a new direction that Ross is taking with the company, and it's pretty interesting. And yeah, we wanted to get it out in a hurry so you could get in on the ground floor of what could possibly be an amazing opportunity for everyone. And that's all I'll say about it right now. We'll get into the episode soon, but first, some quick business. I want to remind everybody that at the end of this month, I will be passing on a bunch of stuff from my studio to some Patreon subscribers, some patch cables, a bunch of stickers, cassettes, and even some modules. So if you want to be privy to when and how that is going to happen, head over to patreon.com/Modular Modcast and sign up. What else? I want to say thank you to Patchworks for their continued support of Modular Modcast. Please visit them online at patchwerks.com. Not only do they have synths and all sorts of studio gear, but they're actually doing lessons out of their shop in Seattle with multiple teachers and types of workshops or classes. And I'm even considering building a workshop. So I kind of wanted to put it out to all y'all. If I were to make or design a workshop that was maybe 3 or 4 hours in length, I would want to keep it down to maybe 5 people maximum at a time. But what kind of topics do you think I would be qualified or particularly good at covering? I would love to hear from you because yeah, I would like to design a fun workshop. I love teaching. I've been teaching for years, and I would like to get into the synth world with that. So hit me up in the DMs or at podmodcast@gmail.com if you have any input on that. But yeah, once again, thank you, Patchworks. Go over to patchwerks.com to learn more about these lessons and all of the great gear that they have available in their shop. I also want to remind everybody I've recently released the Remote Performances 4 EP. It is available on Bandcamp and all of the other streaming platforms. I've also put a bunch of my older music up that hasn't been available for a while, and I actually really like it. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of new old stuff from me on Spotify and iTunes and Bandcamp and whatnot. Would like to take a moment to say thank you to Afterlater Audio for their continued support of Modular Modcast. Please visit them online at afterlateraudio.com to learn everything that you really need to know about the amazing products over there. There are a bunch of really great original designs. In fact, I've dusted off an old original design from Afterlater recently, the Dirty Laundry, which is, it's 2 different wave folders in one, but it's so much more than that. It is, I was using it as a sub-octave fuzz for my guitar recently, and I'm going to play a little clip from that little performance. I haven't quite finished editing it, but I want to give you a taste of just how awesome the dirty laundry sounds with the guitar going through it. And beyond dirty laundry, there is a bunch of really cool original designs. There's the G&T, which can turn triggers into gates or gates into triggers. You can adjust a gate length on it. It's really useful. 2 HP. Another really useful 2 HP module is the sample and hold, track and hold, which does exactly what its name says. It samples and holds, and it tracks and holds. Another really great 2 HP module they have over there is the sum and invert. So you can sum multiple signals and you can invert signals going in and out. And there are many more than that. But I'll leave it up to you to head over to afterlateraudio.com to check those out. I also want to give a shout out to Bastel and Casper. They sent me over the Aikido, which is basically it's a 4-channel VCA mixer, but it also has some side chaining capabilities, as well as some really cool envelope generation options. You can get a spectral envelope generated off of your high, mid, or low frequencies of what's going into the particular channel that you want to use. I'm going to get into more detail on that. It just showed up. I'm just wrapping my head around it, but I wanted to give them a shout out because from the little I have used it in the last few days, it seems like it was made for my remote performance rig, really. So I cannot wait to fully integrate that. So link in the show description if you want to learn more about the Aikido from Bastel and Casper. Other than that, I don't think there is too much more business to go over. So why don't we get into this video that I alluded to earlier, where I used the Dirty Laundry from After Later Audio as a sub-octave fuzz, and then we'll get into our chat with Ross. And we're rolling.
Sweet.
With Ross Fish.
Yeah.
Fish. Where does that come from?
Well, before we get started, I want to lay some ground rules for this.
Okay.
So no S words, no E words, no M words.
Okay.
So no, yeah. I don't want to hear anything about you're a wreck. I don't want to hear anything about synthesizers.
Well, I mean,
anything about modular. I don't want to hear anything about music.
Yeah, well, I mean, in your press agent or whatever reached out and said that you wanted to focus on the pivot that you're doing with Moffenzeef, and so from what I understand, you're getting into like brand management and marketing for other people.
Not
on
quite
TikTok or something, or
no. I actually I have a new cryptocurrency that I'm working on right now.
Oh, okay. All right.
So the brand management ties into that. But yeah, basically
now is the best time I've heard to get into crypto.
Yeah. Well, if you're starting a currency, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, if you want to
yeah. Buying is not a good time, but starting one, yeah. I took this business course.
Yeah. I tried to get in on something from this famous YouTuber named Hogan Saul or something like that. And I'm glad I didn't put too much in.
Oh no!
Apparently,
I think you're thinking of Andrew Huang.
I didn't get in on Andrew Huang's, but I heard that it was doing well, but there's questions about whether or not it's like above board. But I think that's pretty I actually don't know much about crypto. Could you just for those listening who don't know much about it, maybe give us a little
So basically, up until the early 70s, the United States was on the gold standard,
fiat currency, if I understand correctly, right?
Yeah. So basically, without boring everyone to tears, the the guys that make money were like, you know what if we just made money imaginary? And then a really smart guy came along and was like, well, if money's imaginary, then why don't we make imaginary money out of imaginary money? And that's what cryptocurrency is. And
Yeah,
I
because
thought
my
to myself,
understanding, yeah,
yeah, my logical next step was I should do that. So
yeah. Um,
yeah.
do you have a name? Like how far along the process are you in this?
I just set up some accounts in the Cayman Islands.
Okay.
And I got to get some paperwork going on that, but we're pretty far along on everything. I got
Okay.
there's going to be this big social media launch, tied in some pretty big names on that, which I'm excited about. Really, the name of the game these days is like, if you're starting a cryptocurrency, it's not even about how good the security is on it, or how accessible it is, but it really kind of just all comes down to the TikToks associated with it. So that's where the brand management kind of ties back into everything. So
Okay.
we're
Yeah,
just
and
getting
we
like a
can
big,
yeah.
just a
We
big
can talk off
launch.
air about this, but your press agent did um include your proposal for influencers, and I'm not
Hmm.
sure I make the cut. I don't know if I have the numbers right now, but maybe just getting
Right.
started. I could maybe get on for
Yeah.
some like stock options or something like that. Or I don't, is there
Yeah.
stock
You can get,
involved in this? Or
yeah, there is.
I might just edit this part out. We don't need to show how the sausage is made. Is it called Moff Money?
Yeah. MOFFENCOIN, actually, specifically.
Moffencoin. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, I don't want to say too much, because the truth of the matter is I'm letting you in on the ground level, and, it's a really unique opportunity. And the thing is, like, you know, really what it comes down to, if you want the stock options and you want to be in the innermost circle of this, is it would really make the most sense for you to get into the core recruitment aspect of MOFFENCOIN, where all you have to do is find, you got to get two friends of yours
Okay.
to sign on to use MOFFENCOIN. And it's not like
So you start
it's
at the
you,
bottom and then it kind of builds out triangularly upwards.
no, not quite, because I don't I don't want you to think of this as a linear hierarchy, because this is a new
Okay.
era, right? We're talking about a nodal network here, right? So
Okay.
if you can build the nodes in the nodal network, it's like, how, so I don't know if you've ever seen the map of how like the brain, like neural networks work, but
Mm-hmm.
basically it's like you can't have a complex neural network without nodes, obviously. So the more nodes there are in the neural network, the more intelligent the system can be. So
Okay.
I don't like this visual,
Right.
or
Yeah.
I don't like this kind of visual for it, because that's kind of that's the old way of doing things.
Mm-hmm.
This is different. But
Yeah.
basically,
So you
for
could
anyone
think of,
watching,
yeah.
for anyone watching, like, I can let you in, in the early wave as well. But like you said, it's like you can't really, don't let too many people know, because there's only the inherent value of currency is based on its what's the word I'm looking for? It's finitude, it's
Right. Yeah. Because if you have too
that's
much,
how
then,
value is made.
mm-hmm.
If too many
Yeah.
people know, then the value of MOFFENCOIN will essentially be
Okay. So the initial
worthless.
people are kind of like the neurotransmitters, your
Yes.
serotonin, your dopamine, your norepinephrine. And,
Yeah.
we don't want to have too much. If you have too much serotonin,
Right.
then you get serotonin syndrome and die. And if you don't have enough, then you could also die
Yeah,
by your
because
own hand.
everybody needs a brain.
Right. Right.
Right.
Yeah. I haven't thought about that, but that's a good point.
Everybody needs
Right.
MOFFENCOIN.
Right. And so if for those interested, they can reach out at Moffencoin at Bitboink, or what was it?
No, see the problem. So part of the marketing launch right now is we're trying to get some servers up and running in Taiwan, so it's actually not accessible yet.
Okay.
But
Now,
the link will be anyway. Yeah. Sorry, you were
is
saying?
is crypto similar to NFTs in the sense that there's a little bit of an environmental issue? Is that the blockchain with the servers? Like, I don't understand that whole aspect.
Well, they don't. I mean, the truth of the matter is, where we're hosting the servers, they don't really give a shit about any of that. So that really hasn't.
That works. I mean, that works out.
Yeah. So
I'm sure it's a lot cheaper too to pay people to work there.
Well, really, what it comes down to is like, I think a big element of everything that I wanted to make, a really important value of the company is making profit the number one motivator. Basically, I don't really.
Yeah, I think
because the truth of the matter is ethics get messy.
Well, it's hard to manage ethics because everybody's idea of what is, like ethical or moral, that varies from person to person. So it's a guessing game, but the numbers don't lie.
The numbers don't lie. No, it's relative, so.
Yeah.
So anyway, the environmental aspect doesn't really, it's not stopping us from growing.
Right.
So.
Right.
Well,
that's really exciting. Are you are you excited?
Yeah, I mean, well, the name of the game, so really what this came down to is as the business pivots in general, it's like it's going to become a one-stop shop. So we're not going to sell S words anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole paradigm shift that I'm going for is basically, I realize that the issue with manufacturing these days isn't basically what it comes down to is like during the supply chain crisis, I realized that there was actually a flaw in the way in which people were conceiving of products, right? Because it was like it was all focused on like if we can get the cost of goods sold down to a value that if then multiplied and marked up in the retail market would give both a product that is at a satisfactory price point and a healthy profit margin for the company, right? It's like this like relationship here of like if we can buy goods and own the means of production and sell them at a markup, we can make money. But what I realized is actually the thing getting in the way of running a profiting business in this country is the currency itself, like the value of the US dollar. So I took it one step further where I realized if I can make my own currency and I can make whatever goods I make only accessible through purchasing with that currency, then it's like that's like a whole other level that you can work with, right? Because then you're getting the processing fee, you're getting especially if you're in charge of minting the currency, you're getting whatever profit comes from mining the currency.
As digital minting goes,
well, I just wanted to say so tying into you were asking like what's going on here, it's like it's not really about crypto itself, right? And it's not really about the manufacturing itself. Where the money is in the currency conversion itself. So it's really shifting to that service more than anything else. And part of that is generating the social media to gain the traction to then mitigate those transactions.
As far as social media goes, I've heard that TikTok is now the new thing, and that Facebook is mostly just old people. And
well, Facebook is actually where
that's
I've
an untapped market.
Well, the thing is, like, Facebook is actually where I'm going to be doing the majority of the recruiting for the purchasers of MOFFENCOIN for that exact market that you were referring to. Like, typically retirees anywhere between the age of 88 and 94.
Okay.
They got a little extra grease to let go of. They're very, very interested in engaging with you and talking with you. You can reach them by phone, you can reach them by text, you can reach them by email. They'll respond immediately, and they're really
and they're
passionate.
Not like, and they're not like. I mean, I get it with like the data thing. Everybody, people are really reticent to share their personal information and stuff. Younger people, but like, I don't know, it's already all out there, and I feel like older people don't have that hang up as much. Like they'll be more open to kind of share their personal
like it's great and it's good for business. it's really
Yeah.
good for business. So I've been trying to tap into that market.
Now this
And
is going
yeah,
to be
like I said,
morbid, but
yeah,
that's not. I mean, if that's the major market you're going for, we're not talking about long term users here, because if we're in the upper 80s, early 90s, anything can
no,
happen at that point.
it's a you get grandfather program. So it's like, once their
That's kind of
time.
clever. You should use that in the marketing. You get grandfathered in because you're
I
going
see what you did there. That's very
for
good.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So it's next of kin basically. So
Okay.
that's kind of just how, like, it's in there, like, if you have time to read the terms and conditions, they're kind of hard to find on the website, but if you have time to read them, it addresses but this topic, you're saying it's morbid, like I don't really want to focus on life as its final destination. It's about the journey on the way there and all the wonderful things that MOFFENCOIN can
Right.
get for you on the way
Well,
there.
and
So I
also
don't,
know that
really.
yeah, a lot of the people that are into this kind of technology and stuff, like there's definitely that spot in a Venn diagram for people who are also interested in things like the singularity and neural implants. So, who knows,
Yeah.
maybe some of these people would be less worried about their physical life
Right.
ending soon because they'll be uploaded to the
Yeah,
cloud.
exactly. Right. And we'll have the servers for that at that time. But there's
Yeah.
a
So
thing here. It's kind of like you said, like I don't want to reveal too much, but there's a lot of moving parts here. Like I got it's going good.
right on. Well,
So
so actually, I just got to take a minute here. We're at the top of the hour here for an ad break. So,
oh,
you know what? I was gonna do our ad today for the sponsor, but I think
right.
I would rather just plug MOFFENCOIN here.
Okay.
So yeah, if you want to take the reins here and give people your all the info they need and the pitch.
Yeah, so buy today, buy your MOFFENCOIN today, because tomorrow your money won't be worth much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what's the target goal for exchange rate into a fiat currency like the
Yeah,
American
so I was
dollar?
thinking like 300-400%.
Okay.
Yeah, something in the ballpark of that, 300-400%.
Okay. So if you had three Moffin coins, then that would be
Right.
$9. Okay. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'd take that. I
Yeah.
mean, of
Sorry.
course you got to
Wait,
take in
9.
advance your
No, I'm sorry. I don't think you heard the last. I don't think you heard the last number in that. I said 300,000.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, that's even better. But
For the
and
customer, yeah, it's great, because then you don't have to
right.
have, you don't, yeah, it's you don't need to carry all that money around with you.
So are you in talks with any big companies like your Venmos or your PayPals to get kind of like integrated into where you could pay in MOFFENCOIN and then that translates to a non-MOFFENCOIN user into a British
It's pretty
pound?
much like it's a unidirectional transaction right now. So you
Mm-hmm.
buy MOFFENCOIN and then we hold on to it. But
Okay.
we're trying to sort out how to best serve, because like you said, it's like our target market has a difficult time with technology in the first place.
Right.
So we have to figure out a way to, it's kind of a new concept in cryptocurrency, but we're talking about maybe having some sort of physical paper representation of the coin that you own.
Okay.
But it's not I
The
don't want
old people
people to
would
think
love
of it
that.
as, yeah, I don't want people to think of it as money, though, because then that's the old way
A
of doing
physical
things.
NFT, maybe, like you could think of it.
It's different. It's different because this
Okay.
is rather than being a paper currency minted by a separate or a centralized mint that is then backed by some sort of organization or you know
Government.
institution.
Right.
This is a nodal network, so basically you'll be able to just print the money at home, but it's not the money. It's it represents the money, but it isn't the
Right.
money, you know, because
Okay.
if you think about it, it's like the money itself, like let's say like for whatever reason the power grid goes down, the money
Right.
doesn't work. So because you
Right.
need to cross reference on the nodal network with the paper
Okay.
by using a QR code that
So
goes
in like,
to
oh, okay.
yeah.
So in like a post-apocalyptic, everybody's all
Oh,
into these
sorry.
zombie.
I have to. Sorry, I have to just clarify one thing: that the QR code actually doesn't work on iOS or Android devices.
Okay.
It has its. We have our own proprietary format that we're working
Okay.
on right now. So,
Mm.
but
Um.
everyone who buys, I'm also working on a thing where if there's an S for sale on my website, I'm gonna try to have QR codes inside that represent
Okay.
money that you may or may not be able to
Like a
access.
Willy Wonka situation. Like if
Yeah,
if you buy an S, like the last of the stock of the S's,
right.
as you make the pivot, you could get
Yeah,
like the
it's not the
golden ticket.
last. It's not the last. It's just it's the last.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah,
Well, this is a real. I mean, I'm not throwing stones, but it's kind of odd because this seems like right now the best time for a small S manufacturer to
right.
be running their business.
Yeah, basically.
But I don't know, you're kind of, I don't know you well, but I've spent some time with you, and I would brand you as kind of the renegade type. So I mean, it
Not
fits.
quite. Yeah, I wouldn't call myself a renegade. I'm more of like a fundamentalist,
Okay.
you know. So, I believe that uh
Do you work
money
on
is
dribbling a
fundamentally
lot, or like?
yeah, money is fundamentally the most important thing in life. So, that's kind of how it kind of all just stems from that, it's like a big it's kind of all smoke and mirrors. It's
Right.
it's really all just
Right.
an act. Like I'm part of this network of oh sorry. Yeah.
Which reminds me, I got to take one more break. Speaking of money,
Right.
if you could just head over to patreon.com/podular modcast, and give me some money, that'd be great. Thanks. Sorry to interrupt you there,
Yeah,
Moss.
but you
Moss.
should
I called you Moss.
yeah.
Sorry, man.
Wouldn't be the first time. So, you should really start you should get out of the dollar game, the United States dollar game. It's weak. You should really just get some of this
Yeah, I've heard
some of this
I mean, it's going to collapse at some point, you
yeah,
know?
MOFFENCOIN won't though
Right. Because, yeah,
at
you've got
all.
the backup with the QR code.
Yeah, the yeah,
Now,
the
will
QAnon
the
code.
basically the paper certificates that you can print out yourself in a
Yeah,
post-apocalyptic situation, let's say the servers go
right,
down, we lose the electrical grid,
right.
do those then become a fungible currency?
No,
Hmm. That's actually smart because
yeah,
if your neighbor knew that you were into MOFFENCOIN and then the shit
right,
hit the fan, they might come for you first. So if they know enough
right.
about it, then that'll keep the clients safe as well.
Yeah, but part of if you read the terms and conditions closely enough, there's actually we have a mandated. We actually have some property out in the ocean that if you own any MOFFENCOIN, you can go there in the event of the inevitable.
Okay.
That was part
Is
of
it
the
something
planning
you
of
row
everything.
yourself out to it, or is there going to be a water taxi?
Well, yeah, there you can access it by sea, but you can't access it by air. So,
Right.
the issue is going to be getting to the boat launch itself because the boat
Mhm.
launch is inaccessible by sea. So the boat
Right.
launch is actually only accessible by road,
Okay.
and to get to the road, you need to get there by air. So it's a little restrictive because it's like a 3-step. It's kind of like how
Well,
two-factor authentication works on a phone, except it's
right.
just physical. So
This actually, I mean, this'll shouldn't be a problem for any potential MOFFENCOIN users if it becomes as
right,
successful as it sounds like it's going to be, because they'll be able to have their own private helicopter probably if they get in on the ground floor. So, listener, now's
yeah.
the time.
If that's a big
If
if
yeah,
though. By
Yeah,
the
I mean,
time
I'm sure by the
I'm a
time
little
this
worried.
airs,
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's like it'll already be too late. It's like when you hear about it, then I mean that's usually what happens, right? It's like, I've been steamrolled plenty of times. People are like, "Hey man, you got to get this hot stock tip," and then I
Mhm.
sell my yacht and I put all my money into a stock, and
Yeah,
just
but
like that,
yachts are
quarter of a
money
million
pits.
dollars.
Yeah, yachts are
Yeah, you're
money
right.
pits
You're
anyway.
right.
You're throwing money away there. You need a boat guy. It's a whole
Yeah,
thing. You
but
got
the
to pay your
problem was
mooring and
I couldn't get from my island villa to my
back to the boat launch.
helicopter pad.
Oh, you should have
Well,
sold the
no,
yacht
the
after you
helicopter
got back to
pad.
mainland.
Yeah, you're right. I made a big mistake. And then I had to lay off my chef. It was terrible.
Yeah, well,
So yeah, the moral of the story is, if someone gives you a hot stock tip and they only want $250,000, just put the money into your boat.
mhm.
Just put the money into
Yeah.
your boat.
Yeah. And if yeah, especially if they're like, on the inside and they're like
Right.
offering you a like some information that is not public yet,
Yeah.
that's definitely something that you'd really want to take advantage of.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it cloudy down there?
No. Full sun.
Really?
Yeah.
We've had some nice
It's
days up here
no,
lately.
it's been like 80, it's been like in the 80s all week. It's full
Are
sunshine.
you on the island now?
I am actually not at liberty to disclose my current location, but
Okay, because I was gonna say I don't recognize the base or the painting in the background.
yeah,
And
right.
so I was wondering if maybe
Yeah,
you're in a
this
hotel
is
room. Okay. Can you
um
tell me off air?
yeah, I let's call it a hotel.
Okay.
Let's just call it a
Okay.
hotel for now. Yeah.
All right. Right on.
It's yeah, we don't need to get into specifics.
Okay. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, you've got a couple places I'm trying to think. I only
Yeah.
know of a handful of your places and where they're at. So I'm trying to like
Right.
guess by
Right.
the weather, but yeah.
Right.
I'm in South Tacoma. I found a bullet in my driveway the other day. Like
Oh yeah.
the actual bullet without the casing. It had clearly been
Oh,
fired. And
I
it was all
see.
chipped up on the side and it lost velocity and landed in my driveway. So things are
Wow.
going well down here. Um,
How big was the bullet?
it was a 9 millimeter.
Regulation size.
Yeah, it was a regulation 9.
It was a regulation size 9 millimeter bullet.
Yeah, the all the kids down here, like at the elementary school, they call them nines,
I
and
see.
they go like this when they do it. I don't know. It's like a
They
TikTok thing,
point.
but yeah, I don't know
They
if this is supposed to be the pew pew, but yeah,
is it. It seems to me like they're pointing in a kind of definitive manner when they're
maybe
saying
yeah, maybe
nine.
that's like it's in my holster.
Maybe it's sign
Pointing it.
language for the number 9.
It could
Because
be.
if you think about it, this actually makes a lot of sense for
Yeah,
9.
yeah.
Because you have
Until
one,
you hold up
two,
the
three,
other
four,
finger, though,
five,
then it becomes
6,
7.
7, 8,
Right.
9.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's people are missing 2 fingers. That's how they would do it.
Right.
Um, yeah, I did sign language
True.
with chimpanzees in my undergraduate program.
Wow.
It was pretty cool.
Really?
Hmm.
That's
Yeah,
wonderful.
yeah. I caught a yawn from a chimpanzee once, which I thought was interesting as well.
Did you
Yeah,
get it
you catch
checked out
yawns from
afterwards,
people.
or
What's that?
did you get it checked out?
I did, but there's such little research
Do you,
on,
right.
that kind of cross pollination between species or genus.
I knew there was a kid in my elementary school who had really bad chimpanzee on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really sad. But
Um,
he
did he get
found
made
some
fun
other
of, or
tech.
was he allowed to were people
Yeah,
cool?
and it was really fucked up. I didn't appreciate how much kids ganged up on him for it.
Hmm.
Because we went to the zoo and he was just like hanging out, and that's how they get you.
Right. Luckily, mine only lasted. It was like a week, and then I went
Yeah,
back to what seemed like regular yawns. I do feel like that. There's a weird little feeling in my throat sometimes when I have a regular yawn. That's like maybe 1/10 of the feeling that I remember having when I had the chimpanzee yawn. But
yeah.
yeah, I think that's kind of just like a long term effect, and it's been
Oh,
years and I haven't gotten worse. So
that's good.
yeah. Um,
Well,
Yeah,
that's weird.
actually, when chimpanzees are smiling, showing
Right.
all their teeth and stuff, that is actually a fear face in a
I
chimpanzee.
actually read I read something about that recently, that smiling, the human need for smiling is rooted in very sinister evolutionary history.
That's odd because not a lot about human history, evolutionary or societal, is all that like sinister. So that's one of the weird
It's
like
true.
outliers.
Yeah. Hey
Yeah,
Tim, do you mind talking about your sponsors for 10 minutes? I
sure.
like, well, I don't know about 10 minutes, maybe 1 minute. I really have to pee.
Yeah, no problem. That's
It's
fine.
really bad. So I'm sorry for these. I'm sorry, listeners. I'll be right back.
All right,
I,
here we
I
go.
promise. It's really bad. My teeth are floating.
Well, dear listener, um, it's now time for the full sponsor break, and I would like to thank you for sponsoring the show on Patreon if you do that. So if you would like to keep the LEDs blinking over here at Podular Modcast, you can head over to patreon.com/Podular Modcast. I'm going to be giving away some stuff that I don't want anymore. It's not a giveaway because it's not like a luck-based lottery thing, but I will be passing forward some modules and um, um, patch cables and some cassette tapes and some stickers. And I also have some bonus content. There will be a bonus episode for this one with Ross, and that's I'm hoping I can get him to maybe spill the beans a little more on some of the inner workings and how you could get in the event that um, by the time this airs, the MOFFENCOIN is now all spoken for. So, um, yeah, so head over to patreon.com/Podular Modcast. What else? I would also like to thank Patchworks, our lovely synth shop here in Seattle. PATCHWERKS.com.
So help me God, if I have to come back there one more fucking time, I swear to fucking God, I'll beat your fucking face in, all right?
Hot mic.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
I'm sorry.
All right.
There's just somebody getting on a line back there for a second.
Well, that's something I did want to ask you about. I mean, you've been running your own business that's been primarily one person, but this sounds like this is going to be a bigger thing.
I apologize for the hat. There's been an issue with the roof.
Okay. Like
there's a storm coming in out here, so
you didn't hear about this storm on a message board, did you?
No. Not that.
Okay.
Well, that storm's coming later. This is a monsoon. This is an actual tropical storm.
Okay. Yeah, because I don't know if you're comfortable talking about this at all, but I know that you do have some people on the inside of certain places that have certain levels of clearance that talk about a coming storm. So can you say anything about that? Or
yeah, I actually have some friends that are I didn't want anybody to know this, but I do have some friends that are pretty high up in the fast food world.
Okay.
And basically y'all, like, all the meat at fast food restaurants is about to be 3D printed.
Oh wow.
So yeah, that's when you hear about the storm, that's what they're talking about.
Now, is the storm going to be the
that's what
outrage from the public?
What they are talking about.
Right. So what will the storm be?
They don't want you to know about it.
Okay. I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, that sounds like it's like impossible to make that meat.
Yeah. Well, it is possible. It's improbable.
Sure, they should call it improbable meat.
Yeah. Because anything is possible.
That's true. Like in a like a philosophical like sense, hard pressed, back against the wall, gun to your head, could you maybe make an argument that
I have had
something is impossible.
I have had a gun against my head and been pushed against a wall, and I still did not like
At the same time,
fake
or were
name.
these separate instances?
No, they were at the same time, but I paid for it, so
Oh, okay.
you know, it was consensual.
That now, does that take some of the fun out of it, or are you able to actually take your head to that place to, you know, fully dive into that scenario as if it were real?
What? Can you
So
rephrase that question?
So if I like say I had somebody push me against a wall and put a gun in my
Yeah.
head, that would be very scary for me. And
Well, it's consensual.
that's what I'm saying. But if you're having
Right.
it done consensually, are you able to kind of take your imagination so far into this role play, let's call it, that it
Yeah.
does you do feel a little fear?
I think that's part of it, right? It's like that's why people go to the movies,
Yeah.
you know? That's
Yeah.
that's consensual. That's consensual fear.
That's true.
You should always
That's
ask.
true.
You should always ask someone before you put a gun to their head.
I think that I mean these are like the hard conversations
That's honest.
that
Yeah,
I think we need to have.
Yeah,
And I'm even reluctant to really say any more because I don't want to you know, the woke thing is just going so far. They're trying to take our microwaves away, at least the ones that run on propane, and it's like,
sure.
what, like. I'd have to I have a big propane tank in my yard specifically for my microwave. So just the removal of that is going to be expensive and time consuming. And then I'm going to have to plant stuff under where it's dead. So you know what I mean? Like I'll go forward with this, but I don't know how much more I want to really say about it.
Sure. That's fine. On the topic of role play and consent, you know, that's kind of how I feel about, you know, if you're paying someone to put a gun against your head, you know, they should just ask.
Right. Now, I could see a scenario where if it was a revolver and maybe something like a 38, because it's not a 6, it's actually a 5.
What is
and in a game,
wait, how do the kids say 38?
I think they go like, I think it's something like they do something where they fold their hands together and their fingers like stick out in the opposite way. I can't
Kids
do it.
These days, man.
I think you got to be double jointed or something.
I can't keep up with the kids these days.
Yeah. So you could do like a Russian roulette scenario where you're like, okay, we're going to put 1 in this cylinder, right? And then we'll roll it. And then no matter what, I want you to pull the trigger. And then that would introduce a lot of fear.
Well, then there'd be
but then you could die.
Then you could, yeah. I don't know if I want to do that.
Now, if you did that and gave the consent for that, then would we be, and then that would the person with the, that be some sort of like Alec Baldwin situation?
So Tim, before you had to silence that last part out, you know, the thing that
yeah, I feel like
sorry about the service interruption. There was some change in the weather. So
right, yeah. So are you how is the, I mean, I guess that could be a clue, but like, is you got decent Wi-Fi there, or?
Yeah, I mean, the pod has moved, so it's colder now.
Okay, I see. Oh, so you've got like a portable pod.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of those here, but they are S related, so I won't bring those up.
Don't say the M word. Don't say the M word.
So do you have any, okay, so far, like I can bleep the names out if you want, or you could say off air, but I'm just kind of curious if you have any, like, do you have any big names kind of like in the TikTok scene who are part of MOFFENCOIN, kind of the rollout in the...
No.
Not yet.
No.
Okay. Are you do you have any, like, let's say like your dream list
of people on TikTok to promote MOFFENCOIN?
Well, no, maybe not TikTok because we're doing Facebook, but yeah, any like influencers or celebrities or
My dream list of people to promote MOFFENCOIN.
Top 50.
Deceased included, or
I think any timeline and dead or alive. Yeah. Like no
dead
rules.
or alive. Okay. Maybe Bach, Johann Sebastian Bach. He was pretty good at what he did.
Yeah, I hate the harpsichord as an instrument, but I do like his music.
Yeah, people really like him a lot, so he's probably a good voice.
Well, I heard he is a mute, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But I see what you mean. Like I see, like not a literal. Yeah.
So we got Bach. Some other people. I think the kids. I'm trying to think of people that are good people. Rodney Dangerfield. He's pretty good.
Yeah.
He
didn't get the respect that he deserved.
Yeah, he really didn't. So maybe he could with some coin in his pocket.
Yeah, I think if you had the Moffencoin, people would be singing a different tune.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of other people that would be good.
Philip Morris, I think would be on my list.
I'm trying to think of like the problem with athletes is they all do steroids.
Well, I mean, it's kind of what do you call steroids? Because I've been watching a lot of podcasts about like TRT and stuff like that, and you know, yeah, what do you want to call it? Like at some point, you know, it's kind of arbitrary. It's almost like money. You know, the current money system. It's really just the people in charge make the rules of where they want to draw the line. The line's always moving. You know.
Yeah.
So.
But you know, I'm anti-semantic, so
yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, as long as people get the point.
Yeah, it's all semantics to me.
Yeah. So have you had any heat from any like banking?
No, I don't have any heat right now. That's why I'm wearing that's
I mean, like,
on. It's very
are you worried about any of the powers that be? Let's call them, maybe trying to stop you before you get fully started here because they see how dangerous
we have a
this could be for them.
I have an entire. I don't want to use the word. I'm trying to think of the best way to say this. There are a group of people that are willing to defend MOFFENCOIN.
Okay. I get it. I get it. You don't need to say anything else.
They're around if need be for any type of enforcement.
Right.
Or
Okay. Now your pod then, speaking of, is your pod armored in any way, or you have like good
It doesn't have to be.
Right.
It doesn't have to be. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fast.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Is it water? Is it sea, land, air? Can you say?
It's really great.
Because if it's air, I was gonna say you could get above the clouds, and it won't rain on you anymore.
It's just a good pod, you know.
Mm-hmm. There's not a lot of good pods out there.
No.
Is it modern? Is it like a mod pod?
It's yeah, it's pretty good.
That's cool.
That's a good pod.
Now, where do you stand on like should everybody be able to vote, or should there be like a test?
To vote on what?
In just, elections, government elections. Like if you don't know how the government works, should you be able to vote?
I don't believe in elections and democracy. I just don't. I think that the world would be a much better place if we all just put all of our faith and trust into a single individual and gave them complete control over everything.
It would clean much up.
I'm not suggesting that I would be fit for the job, but I would do it if I had to. you know.
Yeah, I was gonna say once you said that, I immediately went to you because I was thinking, if this rollout is successful as
I
it
don't
sounds
want
like it's going to be,
I don't want to do it, you
could
know. I
be.
don't want to do it,
Yeah,
but people keep asking me to do it. So, I
yeah.
mean, I'm just gonna, you know, if I have to um, run for office and win in a landslide victory in a scenario where there's no elections, then
Mhm.
I'll do it. But I don't want to do it. So
Now,
if push comes to shove, I'll do it.
Now, just if we end up in this kind of scenario, I just want to ask one hard hitting question. I know we're friends,
Yeah.
but I'm going to go into journalist mode here, just for the listener to see your answer to this. But if this happens, are you prepared to make the hard decisions?
Um, I I guess so. Yeah.
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 Okay. Well, that's
Sure.
comforting to me.
Yeah. Sure. I'll do it.
Now, color, like, are you thinking uniforms, color
Um.
coded by like class
Yeah.
or?
Yeah. Probably. I think that's a good idea. I think if everyone is dressed exactly the same and there's no delineation between, you know, individuals,
You could get rid
as
of
long as
class.
there's just yeah. But if there's just like undenying allegiance to one person, then yeah.
Like I said, I mean, looking
I
at
can't
what's
think of a
happened.
single.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't think of a single scenario of how that could possibly go wrong.
Yeah. I mean, we just should try it to see. We should just give it a
Yeah.
shot, shake things up a little bit, put some,
Yeah.
you know, you're an
Yeah.
experienced businessman. Okay. You're not a
Yeah. I am.
politician, but let's throw an
No.
experienced businessman into the job and see if that
Right.
can shake things up.
Yeah. Because
I don't see yeah. And I think too, so much has happened with the, Facebook and everything with politics, and it's made tension with family and stuff, so like that would
right.
just get rid of all of those problems, and
Yeah.
I could have a good Thanksgiving again.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
will there be Thanksgiving in your
No.
Okay.
No. Thanksgiving sucks.
The food's not good.
The
It's
food's not good. And that's really what it comes down to. I know people get political about Thanksgiving, but I'm getting political about mashed potatoes here. I got to be honest with you. I'm not a fan of holidays
part
where
of it is the mashed potatoes, but yeah.
I make amazing mashed potatoes, so I feel you, but it's like I don't really, this like all these like beige food items that are all just like butter. It's like I don't think anyone actually
beige.
But it's like this scenario where it's like everyone eats and everyone's like, they're doing the thing where they're like, oh, I love this food.
Be careful with the tryptophan.
I love this food. And then if you like look around the table while everyone's eating, they're not happy. And then it's
grimaces
over
all around.
And then you get the fucking dessert out and it's like, oh man, sugar.
Yeah.
And then you eat
that's
it.
exactly what Big Sugar wants.
Yeah. Big pie is behind Thanksgiving. And yeah, I just think it sucks. I think Thanksgiving sucks all around. I think it's a bad time of year.
Yeah. I agree.
I don't have anything to be thankful for. So I don't.
Well, you might
the whole
soon
thing is dumb
after this rollout, but
yeah, but I get everything in my life through hard work. Hard work.
Mm-hmm.
So I have nothing to be thankful for.
That's how you. That's true.
I have no one to thank.
But yourself, you could.
I could thank myself, but I won't do that.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to give myself any wrong ideas.
Right. Yeah. That's actually really, that's comfort. You just answered a question that I didn't realize I had about a potential leader, but that's the kind of thing that a good leader does, though, I guess. And speaking of leaders, I think the only thing that I really would miss about No More Thanksgiving is when the president pardons a turkey.
Yeah. But there won't be presidents. So
what will your title be?
I am not in charge, but if I was in charge, it would.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about in this scenario.
In a hypothetical scenario, it would probably be something along the lines of leader. I would be some sort of leader.
Mm-hmm.
Some sort of, there would probably have to be some kind of acknowledgement of the authority figure.
I got it.
Like maybe the words supreme,
Right. Uh-huh.
or chief, or
Captain, my captain.
generalissimo. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh. You could get a book that says the rules or status quo, and you could be
Well,
like,
I don't.
everybody get this book and rip out the pages.
I think that the concept. I think one of the big problems in the world is that too many people know how to read and are educating themselves.
I mean, we don't really need to know how anymore. We can have the computer do it for us.
Well, no, you could have this person just tell you everything that you need to know. You don't need to waste time. You don't need to waste time.
So you're a man of efficiency. That's what I'm gathering. Yeah.
Utility,
and efficiency.
Right.
I can't imagine anyone would like try to form any sort of resistance or anything to this.
No, it would be futile.
But people do often, fight battles that are, not for their own good. What do you call that when that happens? Against their interest, fighting against their own interest.
Yeah, people vote against their interests.
Yeah. It's kind of like, well, that's not the same thing, but one of my biggest pet peeves, I think, in a person is willingful obtusity, being willingly obtuse or willfully obtuse.
Sure. You just want people to be square.
Yeah, because
like just symmetrical.
Because figuring out people is a math equation, right? And if it's square, it all adds up. But if we've got obtuse,
yes,
it's kind of like, okay, now I've got to we have fractions, but you can't have a fraction of a person. So
right. Well, I don't want fractions anymore. I want to get rid of fractions. Hypothetically.
Well, I mean, they're purely theoretical.
Right. Like money.
Mm-hmm. Now, did people discover money or invent money, or did money already exist and then we discovered it?
That's actually a really good question. I don't know. I think people were getting tired of carrying around rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So they were like, what if we pound these rocks flat?
Mm-hmm.
So I think the money was already there,
Mm-hmm.
And they just pounded it flat.
And then the Bronze Age, when the penny was the first penny was minted, that's when we really maybe had I think
the first penny was minted in the Ice Age.
Right, it's not bronze, it's copper, and I know, because the copper actually would rise to the top,
right,
and that's why all this ice. Glaciers turn kind of a copper color in the springtime, leaches it out.
Right. That's actually where the term penny comes from.
Really?
Yeah, penny is I think it's Icelandic for glacier.
So you pronounce it a penny?
But it was originally there's an I think it's an umlaut. I think that's what there's an umlaut over both of the ends. So it's very Scandinavian sounding.
Okay. I didn't know umlauts went over consonants.
Yes, they have a very distinct sound to them.
It's like
it's actually a little less guttural than that. It's like a but it's a softer kind of air. It's like I don't know if you've ever learned about like the proper way to pronounce Van Gogh. It's like a G, like a it's like a with it's like a PF at the end.
I love PF Chang's. I mean, total non sequitur, but
well, it's actually not pronounced PF Chang's. It's pronounced. Well, you're not quite getting it right. You're doing a little too much of like the Hebrew kind of thing. It's more of a soft. It's like you're saying the word hoof, but there's a GPH in there. It's like a hoof. So it's hoof. Yeah, hoof Chang's.
That's fun.
And in penny is pronounced pe.
I want to keep practicing. But I'm
double-
afraid I'm gonna trigger my.
It's a double. Yeah, you don't want that chimpanzee yawn to happen again. You fought so hard to get rid of it.
That's actually, thank you for reminding me about that. It's kind of like, if you cross your eyes too much, they'll stay crossed. I might not want to even open that bag of worms because that's a really good point.
You don't want to peel that banana.
I see what you did there. I think, chimps really like bananas. Do you think a chimpanzee's ever slipped on a banana peel?
That's the first. It's funny. People think I'm a funny guy. That's the first joke I've told this entire podcast.
I think people think you're funny.
Joke. I'm going to write that one down. That one down, actually. I'm going to do a bit about that on Instagram, about eating bananas, chimpanzees eating bananas. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's very funny.
I think you should
write that down.
And I think...
I'm going to write that down on my cell phone.
I think you should write it down.
Hold on 1 second. Sorry, Tim. I'm writing.
That's right. I'm just gonna.
I keep notes. I keep notes of all of my ideas.
Welcome to the top of the hour ad break. If you would like to write notes in your phone, then head over to banananotes.org and use your free promo code bananapod
chimpanzees
pfchangs /
bananas
MOFFENCOIN for 10% off your digital download of Bananas. Thank you so much for watching.
Are funny. Okay, cool.
So
Thanks
think,
for letting me do that.
Yeah, absolutely. There was something else I was thinking about with chimpanzees, but I don't want. I have seen a lot of people. I've had a lot of people say like, what's Ross really like? Like, is he really like that funny? And I'm always confused. No. I'm like, and then it dawned on me the other day, and I was like, they don't understand. No, I'm trying not to. I know compliments make you uncomfortable, but like I feel like your understanding of just like society and culture is kind of on a level to where you just maybe come across this funny because I think when people don't understand something that they hear, they automatically go like, oh, that's comedy.
Right.
Because they don't want to feel stupid.
Right. I can't control other people's thoughts and feelings yet.
Yeah. Yeah. People always think that I'm like,
I'm not
really,
responsible.
Really
I'm not responsible for other people's behavior yet.
Right. Yeah. And like, why would you want to be? Maybe maybe just like, yeah.
I don't want to do it. I don't want to be in charge.
Well, I've always thought that would be the best kind of leader, somebody who doesn't want the job, because then they're not in it for the wrong reasons,
Yeah. I mean, that's, I'm just a humble guy floating through this earth in a large pod with an armed militia ready to protect a currency that I just invented a week and a half ago. I'm just like you.
And Godspeed to you. I was thinking about doing this thing where like if I was talking like this and then I had to make like a really salient point, but have like maybe like a wry kind of I know the score and maybe you don't. Like I could do something like, chimpanzees. It said they eat a lot of bananas, but did you know that they actually also like tangerines? Like bring the mic in, do a nice soft kind of lower radio thing. What do you think that would work for me?
Doing the voice?
Yeah, just like when it was appropriate, bringing it in and do it. Like, do you think people would maybe like
I think you
sign up for patreon.com/Podular Modcast if I like did that more, like if I practiced and got it down? Like
if you did the voice, do you think you could do the voice? Yeah, I think you could do the voice.
Okay.
About chimps.
I'll work on it.
Yeah.
But I might give it a rest. I was going to practice today, but I probably won't because I may have strained. I don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Learning how to do that umlaut over the N.
Yeah. Now, why do they say magna umlaut, magna cum umlaut, or like, what does that mean? I didn't go to school, but I hear like college people say that.
Manga
That manga cum umlaut.
manga cum loud. Manga. Well, manga's that Japanese illustration style.
Yeah, like comic books, but I always like whenever I read
Right.
them, it's like I feel like it doesn't make sense. Like things seem like
Well, it is
chronologically
in
like
Japanese typically, so
that
I
could be
don't know
the
if you
issue.
can speak. I don't know if you can speak Japanese, but that'll
Uh
probably help you read the
wakarimasen.
language. Wow, that was very
That means I
impressive.
don't
Very
understand.
convincing.
Yeah,
I see. Well, you
I
fooled
took
me.
9 months of Japanese when I was in my early 20s. So,
Wow,
yeah.
that's amazing.
I can
That's
say
pretty
about
cool.
4 or 5 words. So, I think I'm ready to travel there. Like
Probably. I mean, there's no point in learning, like, a
everybody speaks
culture or a
English.
language.
Yeah.
Well, it's like before you travel somewhere, like, why would you bother doing any research or assimilating to the culture? It's like you could just show up and just, demand everything be done your way.
I'm a shoot from the hip kind of guy. I mean, I don't shoot
Right.
guns, but the expression like
Right.
and
But if
I
you
like
did,
to
it'd be nines.
yeah, definitely. Good eye.
Yeah.
Actually, if I was gonna do it, it'd be more like I would think I would have
Oh,
the
you're like a
strap.
Yosemite Sam
Yeah.
kind of quick draw guy.
Yeah, and I would definitely do the
That's
cross
cool.
arm draw
I would
because
use
I
the
feel
power of
like
persuasion. I would if I was in a
I'm not
showdown, I would
gifted
use
like
the
you are though. Like I would have to use brute force to get like
well,
or
I would have
like
like consensual. I'd be like, "Can you consensually push me against the wall and put a gun to my head?" And right when they go to do it, I would shoot them. See, I would use mind control.
that. Yeah, that's a pretty interesting tactic.
Yeah, it's brains over bronze. Get used to it.
Yeah, I would just want to go to like a country and just like, just fucking just do my thing, and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
just go to another place
I'm not going to
and
change who I am. I'm not going to have fun if I change myself.
right. You could just go somewhere and change the entire place to be the way you want it to be.
Or at least whatever
Right.
environment, maybe not even change because I do want to experience new things, but like anything outside of like what I think is like normal to me, I'm going to be pretty
Yeah.
resistant to that. But I think that is
Yeah.
normal in
That's
itself.
probably a good idea.
Well, Ross,
Yeah.
we're at an hour.
Yeah,
And I've been doing this new thing where I do bonus episodes on patreon.com/Podular Modcast. So can you stick around for about 10 more minutes for some bonus behind the paywall questions? That's where we can maybe really get into the meat.
Yeah, I guess so. Sure.
Okay, yeah. I'm glad that you're excited about it because I've been waiting all day to ask you these questions.
Sure.
We'll do kind of a quick fire round.
Okay, go. Shoot from the
Okay,
hip,
like
Mr. Nines.
are you a pep in your step sort of guy when you're crossing the street and somebody's trying to take a right hand turn but you're walking on the crosswalk, or do you just like, I'm just going to walk at my pace and I don't give a fuck where you have to go?
This is a scenario where I'm crossing the street and a car is rolling up to a crosswalk.
Yeah, and
I'm
they
the
want to
pedestrian.
turn right, but they can't turn
They
until
wanna turn
you
right.
are Mhm.
Until I cross. Are we obeying traffic laws? Is that part of the
We
question?
are obeying traffic laws and we are in a city center.
So we're in a city center and I got a green walking icon and I'm going and a guy
Hasn't
is
even
trying to
started the
turn right.
countdown yet. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I slam on the hood and I say something along the lines of, "Hey, go fuck yourself, motherfucker! Fuck you, man! You
That's
fucking skeezer! Fucking shit!" Something like
Yeah.
that.
I
then I
hit
cross
the
the
hood
street.
and I go, "Hey, I'm crossing here."
Yeah, that's basically what I do, but I do it in a very kind of aggressive northeastern.
I like to be succinct with my verbal threats to strangers in public because I feel
Yeah.
like that just really, less is more.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's true.
Trees or shrubs?
Like functional or decorative?
Like which ones would you rather have to cut down to build your blockchain server?
So
Place?
functional, not decorative.
Right. You could use them to decorate after you cut them down, but
Well, not if you have to burn them for fuel.
that's true. That's true.
I don't. Trees or shrubs for server juice. I'm gonna go with probably shrubs because I imagine the cost of transporting tree fuel is probably pretty intense. And shrubs you
Yeah.
can kind of burn rapid fire. You
Yeah,
can
and
also harvest shrubs.
you could also
quicker.
find like a wetland that's full of the shrubs, so you got plenty of
That's
fuel,
true.
and then you basically have a field when you're done.
I'm a
If you
shrub
burn
guy.
them in place. You're a shrub
I'm
daddy?
a shrub guy. I'm
Oh.
I'm a lucky girl. So
Yeah.
shrubs are my children.
Now here comes some hardballs. True or false?
Okay.
You were part of the discussion revolving around the new takeover of Twitter, and it was maybe going to be you.
True.
Now, why did you back out of that? Can you talk about that? Because you didn't have a kitchen sink to bring in? Or?
No, I'm really tied up right now with all the other shit that I'm doing. So
yeah,
I don't have time to run dying platforms, you know. I'm trying to get into the next wave of media here.
That's true. Now, okay. And then this is something that you specifically asked not to mention because you're still in the beta phase, but because this is behind a paywall and I don't have any Patreon subscribers, it's just you and I.
Oh, okay.
Is it true that you're working on a social media platform that's going to be kind of tied to MOFFENCOIN? Did I understand
it's not
that
very
right?
social, really. It's kind of just like it's more of an information channel. It's like a one directional where it's like the only account you can follow is the person who's in charge of MOFFENCOIN, whether that's me or somebody else is still up.
Well, that actually sounds great for the client or the user of MOFFENCOIN, because like there's nothing to cut through the weeds. They'll have their information.
No ads. Which is great.
That's great. Yeah. Ads are an important part of Podular Modcast. And if you would like to help out, then actually, if this is the Patreon section, they've already done it. So sorry, disregard. Well, you know what I should have done? Hey, tell your joke again.
The one about the chimpanzee and the banana?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's here we go. So what do chimpanzees like to eat?
I don't know. What?
Bananas.
Hey, that's great. All right. Well, yeah.
You get it?
Do I have any?
You get it? Because
I do. I worked with chimpanzees.
Right.
Yeah.
Sick.
And Banana Day was probably the craziest day.
I think that one's gonna hit. I think people are getting really tired of the cum jokes.
Oh my gosh! I have a tag for you. You can take it or leave it, but it could be a good little hashtag as well. And then like you could close with that because it's strong, and you go, "All right, thanks everybody for your time. Now I got to split."
I don't get it. What?
I don't know. It's something that people say when bananas are. That's like about leaving, because I think you split them open. I don't know.
I don't think I've never split a banana before. I've peeled a banana.
Well, you kind of split the peel, right? Like you break it and then you grab the two sides and then you pull it really hard and then it flies up in the air and you have to lay a paper towel down or something for it to land. Are we still
talking about bananas?
Yeah.
Oh.
I actually I'm allergic to bananas, so I don't know, but that's what my mom told me.
Yeah, big same. All right, fam.
Well, yeah, Ross, this was great, man. I really appreciate your time.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah.
I appreciate my time.
I know.
Well, I'd thank you for having me, but I don't do that. I don't believe in gratitude.
I mean, there's nothing. I don't really know what I don't know if I can really help, but if you think of something,
because I basically put myself in this position. You know what I mean? Like I am the reason why I'm here. So I don't.
Well, I did invite you.
Yeah, but like not really. You know, it was like my idea. You know.
Well,
if you had anything to do with this, I would thank you, but I don't really see a need to do that.
Well, I mean, I
do everything through
I reached out. I reached out, though. Well, my publicist reached out to your agent.
It's debatable, dude. Whatever, man. I'm not here to fight.
All right. Can I still be part of MOFFENCOIN?
Yeah, of course. For
All right.
a low monthly fee of.
Don't say the rate yet. Don't say the rate yet. We don't want anybody to. I'll bleep it out.
I don't say the R word. I don't use R words.
Right. Brave new world.
Right. Paradigm shift.
Mm-hmm. What about a paradise shift where you like made it
on the
better?
production floor? I think there's been an accident, so you're gonna go take care of it.
All right, man. Well, good luck with that.
Okay.
All right, that's our show. Thank you so much for coming back to PodMod. Thank you to Ross for, really giving us some really hot tips on how we could maybe grow our financial portfolios through MOFFENCOIN. Also, thank you to Patchworks for their continued support of Podular Modcast. Please visit them online at patchwerks.com. Don't forget to head over to patreon.com/Podular Modcast if you would like to support the show and possibly receive some stuff in the mail from me. Maybe some modules, cables, cassettes, who knows? Who knows? Thank you to Novation for their continued support. Go check out the summit. Link in the show description. Also, After Later Audio, thank you for your continued support of Podular Modcast. I think that's about it for this week. This week's secret word is PUP. P-U-P. They're a punk rock band that my friend introduced me to and brought me to a show just this last week. And it was fun. And of course, like a tie-dye shirt with death metal writing on it, I'm gonna get it, you know? There was no chance I wasn't. Until next week.